Hey guys, so I'd like to cover something with you guys for a minute. So last night I was on my way home from work and I happened to see something on Google talking about how country artists are releasing songs that are, I'm trying to think what the right word is, but basically it supports the fight against drugs, and even some songs are actually, artists are going out about their problems that they've dealt with drugs, which a lot of artists do. But, and anybody who knows me knows I like country music more than any other music, and seeing that article inspired me to make this video. And why is, I'm saying everybody knows drugs are a bad thing, but some drugs are good to a certain extent. And what I mean by that is maybe you're having a health issue and a doctor prescribes you to a certain drug that should help you. Like a lot of states are now legalizing marijuana because doctors can prescribe it in order to make you feel less stress. But also, that also goes to a certain extent because some doctors are not licensed. So even if you know somebody who was a doctor and they prescribe you a medicine after you've told them your problems or something like that, or like, hey, I've been through a lot of stress, can you give me some weed or something like that, make sure to not take any drug or anything that you think is prescribed, not unless you know that it's a prescribed drug. Like, meaning, even if they tell you it's prescribed, make sure you have evidence that it is a prescribed drug. Because they could say it's prescribed, but it actually might be really harmful to your health, and you could potentially be risking your life based on that one decision. And that's where, and that's why also I'm wanting to cover it, because I know and I've known some people that their life has been affected by drugs. I'm not going to list them, but if you know who you are, you know who you are. I'm not saying bad, it's something that, you've had to deal with. But I'm just saying I've known people who have saw that their problem was something that was potentially harming them, and they fought back against it. Yes, some of them actually fought back when it was at the right moment, where in the long run it didn't affect their life. I also have known people who realize their fight way too late, and it potentially set them back. And also, I've known people in all types of categories through the drugs, where somebody, even they went through rehab and everything to get off of the drugs, and they even told me, and they were telling themselves, I'm never going to go back on drugs again, and ended up going back on drugs really hard. And it potentially made others see him as a bad person and a bad choice to be friends with. So what I'm saying is drugs can be a really big impact. Probably to me, drugs are more of a life impact than alcohol. Because alcohol, you can come back from really easily. Yes, alcoholics have a really hard time with it, but that's because their body is basically has made a habit of going to that bar or going to that place just to have a drink, and they get into it. Which, drugs are the same way, but what I'm saying is alcohol is something that it's just you're putting in your system and it's easily dissolved. Drugs have a lot more impact because they can potentially change who you are. And what I mean is, if you take too much cocaine, if you take too much meth, it can harm your brain so bad that it can disable you. alcohol can do the same thing, but it'll just make your attitude worse, and it'll make you not be a friendly person. Drugs can harm you in a way that you cannot come back from. It can't. And that's what I'm wanting to raise awareness for, is anybody who has done drugs or anybody who is doing drugs right now, you can get help. And you guys know that I like doing music, so in order to help raise awareness for it, I will be posting a link to 2 playlists in my description. One is set on awareness for drugs. Some are even songs about people being on drugs right at that moment, or even people who are realizing their problems. And the other playlist is something I've made a while ago that is just inspiration for many types of people. It could be somebody seeing inspiration in their mom. It can be something inspiration realizing, hey, I'm just human, or I am only human. Which, yes, I am referencing songs, but I'm setting these out there now, so maybe a certain song in those playlists can help you in your fight, or it might help you realize that you need to fight. Say no to drugs, guys. And with that, peace.